What's up, peeps? Elio right here, man. It's been a long time I didn't do these live cardio sessions. But yeah, let's have a chat, shall we? What's up, what's up? All right, 300 people so far. Amazing. So yeah, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Frankly, at this point, you know, it's not about being subjective or being partial. I mean, it is what it is. It is true that we all belong to the same species. Last time I checked, we're humans. You know, you can make your own judgment, isn't it? But that's that. Like I was just, I received a message from the trainer of Brandon. He's my friend, Abdullah. And of course, he's rooting for his champ. And I said, well, I got no problem with that. I mean, if Brandon beats Ramy, it's just fine. It can go both ways at that level. That is being subjective. That is subjectivity. I mean, there is a game between Brandon and Ramy. It is there. It's in the cards. But hey, I mean, at one point, you got to tell the fans what's up. Is bubblegum acceptable, yes or no? What is the red line? I mean, everybody can come there with pregnancy issues and he has a shot at a title, the best of them all. Come on. I mean, come on. You guys know me. I was vocal about this. It's nothing new. I was the first one to call that out. I created the term bubble gut. I did create this term. It does not even exist in the English language. Back in the day, bubble gut meant somebody who has gas in his stomach. It was a gas issue. But right now it became a bodybuilding lingo. Because it's there, for Lord's sake. It's not an illusion. It's not the UFO. Everybody talks about it and nobody sees it. It is what it is. That is a bubble gut bonanza issue right now. You know what I mean? It's bigger than coronavirus, for all I know. See what I mean? But yeah. I mean, come on. I mean, those are mandatory poses. You know, switch and transitions. When there is a transition between a pose and another during the posing, it shows. The bubble gut is there. I mean, even yesterday, I mean, these guys who were doing the commentator, the comment, I think it was Rich Gaspari. Rich, you know, I comprehend that these guys have to hold the line and be politically correct. For the record, Richard Gaspari was, if I'm not mistaken, the initiator of the shredded glutes in the era of Lee Haney. This guy was second. It was second. It was number 2 in Mr. Olympia. That guy, as far as I know, is the very first one to bring the point. I mean, he was literally, when doing his back poses, he was showing with his finger toward his butt. He was saying, does this count? Look, I have shredded glutes. Lee Haney never had shredded glutes. It never happened. But Gaspari, although genetically he was not near Lee Haney, he was placing second. He was showing, oh, does this count? It was the very first one to bring the shredded glutes. The second one was a guy named Renel Janvier. Renel Janvier. That's memories, baby, please. You see, so he knows a thing or two about conditioning. There was no bubble gut in the 80s, which was the time of Richard Gaspari next to Lee Labrada, Lee Haney, Mike Christian, Mike Ashley, and the likes, Momo Ben Aziza. Momo Ben Aziza was the very first one, giant killer. Giant killer. He could have won Mr. Olympia. Frankly, he brought like one serious back in a small package. That guy did a revolution. I mean, he won versus Dorian Yates. Momo was the very first one. Actually, I think he's the only one who has beaten Dorian Yates. 1990, the Night of Champions. The Night of Champions now, it's called the New York Pro. The very first one, the giant killer, he has beaten Dorian Yates. Dorian was second. At that moment, he brought a solid package. It was like the first, technically the first mass monster in a small package. Roundness everywhere. As far as I know, he was one of the first one, if not the first one, to do a front double biceps while flexing his abs. Because he was a tight, small, like a bulldog package. But still, there was no bonanza life back then, dude. Right now, it is an issue. It's not just a big gut. Kai Green has a big gut. Kai brought some Bonanza life, but it's not an injured back. I mean, it's not deformed. You know, Kai has an issue with food. It's a food belly, right? It's still not okay, but he can still do, you know, an abs and thigh, and it can look good. It can look good. I mean, yeah, but there is a limit. At a certain point, there is no subjectivity. There's just reality. We're all humans. We have an eyesight. Now you get some commentators who had issues because when they used to compete themselves, they had a bubble gut bonanza. So if you are an old bodybuilder, a retired bodybuilder who looks like shit, right? Who is like 50, he looks like 90. Of course, you will not call out the bubble gut. Because you had a bubble gut of your own. You're part of the team. You're infected. See? But that's not. At this level, they have to tell you guys, I mean, it's 2020, it's Corona year for Lord's sake. It's a down year for bodybuilding, a down year for everybody. Next thing you know, to top it off, you're promoting a comeback of Bonanza life. Nah, it's uncalled for, man. It is what it is. It's not politics at this level. It's not like, you know, fake news or the Democrats won by stealing the votes. This is robbery. This is highway robbery. Come on. Bonak should feel bad because this is money for him. This is prize money. This is promotional money. You know what I mean? Yeah, this is hard work. Come on. It should not be tedious. It should not be a challenge for a top bodybuilder to hold a mandatory pose or try to mask it. This is not trying to mask a weakness. Like, you know, Arnold Schwarzenegger, the legs were not that good. But he was doing those side poses to try to deflect from that, right? He was mitigating. This is mitigation. He was mitigating that thing. You know, if you have a weakness. A lot of people don't have the sweep, so they try to find another thing. Dorian Yates. Try to find a single pose of Dorian doing, let's say, a crucifix pose. Be my guest. Good luck. Damn you. Dorian never did a crucifix basically pose. Try to find, let's say, just a training video of Dorian Yates doing regular squats. None. Good luck. Yet he was still winning. He was not doing some poses. Maybe the crab pose of Dorian Yates. If you Google it, there's only one. He did it once. It was in 1995 versus Nasser Al-Somebari, because Nasser brought a huge package. He was heavier than him. He was playing the mass game with him. And he has tried to do that crab pose. And the crab pose of Dorian Yates was crap. It was crap. It is what it is. You see? But he was still winning by hiding his weaknesses. Dorian never had like a thick chest. You gotta tell me, the thickness of the chest of Dorian. His chest sucked. He was small. And that's that. So this is mitigating, but when it's overwhelming, it's an issue. It's problematic. It's not being subjective. It's not sugarcoating the thing. It's there, dude. Come on. At a certain point, it is what it is. So, frankly, the top should be either Ramy or Brandon. I'm okay with that, right? And then you have Hadi, who is very, very conditioned. And then you should have Bonak, right there. This is the top four. And hopefully one of them tonight, either Brandon or Ramy, hopefully he will do the same thing to Phil Heath like he was done by Sean Roden. You guys remember Sean Roden? When he stood next to Phil Heath, 2018. And it was that pose. It was the pose. I think he was, if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, I think he was the abs and thighs. He stood next to him. He said, "What now? What now? What are you going to do now? This is the pose that will seal the deal. What are you going to do now?" Sean Roden was looking at Phil. What are you going to do now? He knew he could not do it. Phil Heath cannot do an abs and thighs, let alone a double biceps, front double bi. And thank Lord they don't show his bubble trouble gut bonanza in the front, actually in the back double biceps. You know when you do a back double biceps back in the day, there were some angles of the camera that show the front. And a lot of bodybuilders, when they hit the back double biceps, they let the bubble trouble gut roam. It's a bubble gut bonanza life. You guys remember that? So hopefully, Brand, and if you listen to me, tonight you will stand next to Phil Heath and tell him, what now? What now? Because Phil Heath, yesterday, he was cocky. He was looking at the hamstrings of Brandon. It's like you do not have hamstrings. You're not conditioned. He was doing that. So hopefully, Brandon, you know what? I will send a message right now to Abdullah. I'll tell him, to Brandon, he will do the same thing like he has done, like Sean Roden has done 2 years ago. He will tell him, what now? What now? Say it, what now? I will tell him. Right now, I send him a message. I swear to God, wallah. That's it. Either him or Big Ramy. They say, what now? What are you going to do? What are the abs and thighs? It's called abs and thighs, not bubble gut and thighs. Is it called abs and thighs? The mandatory pose? Change it. If you want to go with the bubble gut, call it bubble gut and thighs. Mandatory pose. Pose down. Front double bubble gut bonanza. That's it. It's not a front double biceps. It's a front double bonanza life. That's it. Double, treble, quadruple bonanza life. That's what you have. They do it all good. Classic physique, mashallah, proper. Right? Next thing you know, when they arrive to the king show of them all, the best show of them all, it's a bubble gut bonanza life. Why? Come on. Even Kai is laughing now. Kai is laughing his ass off. Look at the post of Kai. It says it all. Seriously. And that's that, boys and girls. Be saluted. And it is what it is. At this level, it's just not personal. It's just there. This is objectivity, not subjectivity. Being objective. It is what it is. No hate, no fanboyship, nothing like that. I mean, as I said, be my guest. If you're a fanboy, tell me what's up. Just say it. Tell me I'm okay with the bubble trouble gut bonanza. And put it there as a rule. Bubble gut bonanza is no issue in belly building. Call it belly building for Lord's sake. Do not call it bodybuilding. Have a nice one. Be saluted.